Good evening, everyone. I welcome every one of us to this class tonight. I hope everybody can hear me. Alright, so I welcome every one of us again to another class which is about GST103. This is a computer fundamental course. This course is about computer fundamentals. It's about the history of computer. What you need to know about computer as a professional user. Let me use that word, professional user, as just like a user. So this course material is not meant to teach us how to become an expert user, but just for us to become a computer user, so that you'll be able to access computers, know the parts and the combination of computers, what they comprises of, the beginning and the end. So that is about the course. So today we are going to be going to another unit, which is computer software. In our earlier classes, we have been talking about hardware, computers. We talked about the peripheral devices. We talked about auxiliary devices also. That was everything was still about the hardware, because all those equipment, all those tools, all those units, they are all parts of computers that we can touch. They are all part of computers that we can touch, that we can feel. But today we are going to another kind of types of computer, which is the computer software. That is one we are going for tonight. Computer software. So before we go into this computer software, let's take a fresh memory. Let's refresh our memory on what we did last class rather, which is the auxiliary equipment. So we talked about auxiliary equipment in our last class. The auxiliary equipment, where the auxiliary equipment they are supporting devices that helps computer to function properly. So I said this auxiliary equipment, they support devices, like they support computers to function properly. It's not as if they are not there, the computer will not function well. The computer will function, but for the computer to function properly, that is why they are needed. For them to function properly, that is why they are needed. Hello ma. Hello ma. Yeah, ma. Alright ma. Ẹ máa ṣe fún mi náà. Yèmí. Ìmọ̀ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìnyí jẹ́ pé mi padà mo wà ní kíláàsì lọ́wọ́. Ṣẹ́gun. Alright. Sorry. So I was talking about auxiliary equipment here. So they support devices. They are supporting devices that helps the computer to function properly. So, and we talked about the examples. We have the air conditioner, we have the voltage stabilizer, the line transformer, and we have UPS. These are the 4 types of auxiliary equipment that we talked about in our last class. So the air conditioner is something we all know and we've seen. The air conditioner controls temperature and it removes dust. That is the kind of help it gives to the computer room. It gives to the computer environment. It helps to regulate the temperature and remove dust, so that it will not affect the computer, so that it will not affect your laptop. Then voltage stabilizer, that one too helps to maintain steady electricity. The electricity that is passing through the cable into your computer, into your CPU, it helps to maintain it. It helps to make it stable. Then another one is line transformer. So this line transformer converts voltage level. The example that I gave was that USA, they have their own voltage, units. Nigeria has their own voltage unit. For example, USA is having 110 volts. Nigeria is having 240 volts. So this line transformer helps to convert voltage level. It helps to convert it, it helps to step it down, or it helps to step it up. That is the function of this line transformer. Then we talked about UPS. UPS provides temporary power during outage. If you are using your computer and you never took up the light, if you have a UPS, you will not shake because you'll be able to save your document before your computer go off. You'll be able to save your document, you'll be able to switch off your computer yourself because the UPS help to save power. So they protect computers from electrical damage and ensure smooth operation. That is just the general function of this auxiliary equipment. They help to protect computers from electrical damage and they ensure smooth operation, because that is why part of the definition says they help computers to function properly. That is their own advantage, that is their own function for the computing environment. So let's go to today's class. Let's go to today's lectures. And today's lecture is on computer software. So computer software 1. So the first question is, what is a computer software? As a computer user, as an amateur user, as a professional user, what do you understand by computer software? Computer software. So firstly, let's define software itself. Let's define software. So software is everything you cannot touch in a computer. Software is everything you cannot touch in a computer. You know, we have hardware, we have software. For the hardware are the part of the computer that you can touch, that you can feel, that you can see. But for the software, it is everything you cannot touch in a computer. Anything that you cannot touch in a computer is called software, or is categorized under software. Anything that you cannot touch in a computer system. So the programs that make the computer work. Software is the program that makes the computer to work. Without a software, your computer cannot on, it cannot work. Even if it's on, it cannot work. That is the help of software. Software helps your computers to work. Software is also anything that you cannot see, that you cannot touch rather in a computer. So an example is when you open Microsoft Word to type an assignment, that is the software. You open your computer, you click on Microsoft Word to type out something or to create a table. That Microsoft Word is a software, although it's classified under application software, but it is a software because it is something you cannot touch, and at the same time it is a program that makes your computer to be able to type. Second one is your laptop itself. Yeah, if you are talking about your laptop now, your laptop itself is a hardware, it's not a software. So can you see the difference? Microsoft Word app, you cannot touch it. Instead, you can just see it on the system. While your laptop itself, you can touch your laptop now. So laptop itself is an hardware. Microsoft Word, which is the app in your computer, in your laptop, is a software. So that is the illustration to differentiate between a software and hardware. Hardware is something you can touch, feel. While software is everything you cannot touch in a computer. So let's look at the simple definition here. Software. What does software mean? Instructions that tell the computer what to do. Software equals the instructions that tell the computer what to do. So software is a kind of a program. It's a kind of an instruction that tells the computer what to do. For an example, if you have a computer or you have a laptop, for an example, you click on that power on button. And when you click on it, it is the software that tells your computer to on. It is the software that tells your computer to on. And after the computer has on, it will display place to press your password if you have a password, or it will tell you to sign in if you are not having a password. That is the help of a software. And when it opens, it might first show you a welcoming message. I don't know how you program your own computer, but some will just show you something cycle and tell you welcome. Some will not tell you, will show you different things. So all of these are the work of software, because they are instructions that tells the computer what to do. So that is for software. And let's go to what is a program. We're talking about computer software here, and inside computer software there's something called program. So what is a program? Let's look at what is a program. So a program is a set of instructions given to a computer to solve a problem. So a program is a set of instructions. So a program is a set of instructions given to a computer to solve a problem. Look at the definition. I said software is instructions that tell the computer what to do. Sit down here. Yeah, I said software is instructions that tells the computer what to do. And I said program is a set of instructions given to a computer to solve a problem. I don't know if you can see the difference between these two explanations. For the software, it says instructions so I don't know if you can all hear me very well. I don't know if maybe my line is breaking to everyone. I'm trying to regulate it from my side here, so let's just bear with me. It's going to be fine. So I'm talking about software and program now to tell us a little difference that is between them, although they are the same, but there's a little difference. For the software is instructions that tell the computer what to do. Software is like a facilitator that tells students that this is what you do. Okay, yeah, by so time on Friday, submit your assignment by 12 p.m. That is an instruction that tells the students that you are supposed to submit an assignment before 12 p.m. Why for program? Program is a set of instructions given to a computer to solve a problem. Now, let's look at a program as a teacher that give you an example. After giving you an example, then the teacher give you a question and tell you to use that example to solve that question. I don't know if you are getting my explanation. A program is a set of instructions given to a computer to solve a problem. Imagine it as a teacher. Then that we were in secondary school, they were primary school, they will give us an example. They might give us like 5 examples first. They are teaching us in math. Then they will now give us a question. They can tell us that they can give us an example from A to B or A to D, and tell us to continue to solve from E to G as an assignment. So they will tell you to use their example to solve your own question. So that is how a program works. A software is like a facilitator that tells the student what to do. Submit your assignment by so time. While program is like a teacher that will give an example, then after the example give you a question and tell you to use that example to solve that problem. So that is the difference between them. An example of program now is a calculator app that helps you to compute your GST assignment. A calculator app that helps you to compute your assignment. That is a program. So that is a program for an example now. It is like a calculator app that we all know, that helps you to compute your GST assignment. Let's use math as an example. You're given a math assignment, or you're given a math question, and it's just like a computer app, a calculator app that helps you to compute your GST assignment. Because for the calculator app, set of instructions are there to be able to solve your mathematical questions. Okay, you want to divide a decimal number now, or you want to look for a square root of a particular number. In the calculator app, there is a sign there that says that can automatically give you a square root of that number without any stress. So that calculator app has been programmed to solve any mathematical equations or any mathematical questions. That's for the program. So it's a set of instructions given to computer to solve a problem. So let's continue. Let's look at the types of software. Types of software here. So there are two main types of software. We have the system software. This controls the computer that helps it run properly. So that is the first type of software, system software. So it's the kind of software that controls the computer and helps it run properly. If you want your system, you want a computer for an example, it is the work of system software to boot your system. We have code booting, we have worm booting. So it is the help of the system software to help boot and help run your computer properly. So the system software is the foundation that runs your computer and let other programs work. It's the foundation of the computer, and it also allow other programs to work very well. So this system software is the foundation of all other software on your computer. Without the system software, no other software can work on your computer. An example is, without an Android operating system on your phone, on your Android phone, it cannot install any other app. That year that we are still using all these Android phones that are not sharp, once your Android system stops working, you'll be seeing that sign to be showing you that Android system has stopped working. You will not be able to do anything on the phone until you regulate that issue. Maybe you switch it off and on it again. So that is the work of a system software. It is the foundation of every other software. So the second one is application software. So these are programs you use for your daily tasks. So an application software are programs you use for your daily tasks. Example is typing. Example is typing, which is Word. For an example, now you are using Microsoft Word to type. That is an example of an application software. Application software, they are just programs that we use for our daily tasks. So they are programs that we use for our daily tasks. For an example, you have Microsoft Word on your laptop that helps you to type, that helps you to create table. Or you have an Excel, Microsoft Excel on your computer that helps you to be able to do some calculations. Or you have PowerPoint. Yeah, for an example, we are currently using PowerPoint like this. This PowerPoint is an application software. So these are programs that we use for our daily tasks. Example, typing. We use Microsoft Word. Anything WPS for typing. If you want to watch movies, you can have a VLC on your computer. You can have any other window and any other media player on your computer. And for browsing, you can use Chrome, you can use Brave, you can use Firefox, you can use Edge, you can use a lot of browsers. You can use Safari, you can use UC browsers. So these are all application software. We have a lot of application software that can actually that we use for our daily tasks. For example, WhatsApp is an application software. Facebook is an application software. All of these are all application software. So now let's focus on system software first. Let's focus on system software. So under the system software, it is also divided into 3 other systems. For the system software, they are divided into, like, it is divided into other 3 systems. We have the operating system, we have the language translator, and we have the utility software. So we have the operating system, that's the first one, operating system. Then we have the language translator. Then we have the utility software. So let's look at the operating system, which is the first type of system software. So operating system, also known as OS, operating system. So this is the most important system software. The operating system is the most important system software. The definition for this is, it is the program that connects the user to the computer hardware. It is the program that connects the users to the computer hardware. It is the main system software that runs your old device and lets everything else work. So that's just the breakdown of this operating system. It is the program that connects the user, you the user, with the user that uses computer. It helps to connect with the users to the computer hardware. Examples is Windows, Android, iOS, Linux, we have like that, Nitel, and other operating systems. So this kind of operating system, this kind of software system, this type of system software helps to connect with the user. For an example, Android, you're using an Android phone. Android is an operating system. It helps to connect you, that you are using the Android phone. It helps to connect you, and you're using Android phone, with your phone, with your computer hardware. For an example, with your other apps on the phone, you're able to connect it with, share it with other phone. You can use your phone to send pictures, to send videos to another phone without even stressing yourself. So this is the work of this operating system. It helps to connect with the users to the computer hardware. So a Nigeria example of this is when you power your laptop in a school cyber cafe in Abuja, the Windows OS operating system load first. Without it, nothing works. So this is just a Nigeria example of this operating system. Without an operating system, nothing will work. For an example, if you are using an iPhone, if you on your iPhone, it will first show that Apple for you. If there is no iOS on that phone, it will not even show you it will not even on, not to talk of showing you the Apple. So that's to tell you that this is the program, this is a foundational program also that helps to connect the users to the computer hardware. So let's look at the functions of operating system. So think of operating system like a school manager or NYSC camp coordinator. Let's illustrate it like that, like a school manager or NYSC camp coordinator. So the first thing an operating system does is it helps to manage resources. What are the resources that we have there? We have the CPU, we have the memory, we have the files. So it helps to manage resources. CPU, memories, files. How does it manage the resources? Is that it helps to know where to distribute your storage, how to load your processing, how to make them work. So it helps to manage them. And the second one is allow you run app. Operating system always it will allow us to run apps. You are using an iPhone and you have the iPhone operating system that is there. You'll be able to download any app. If you notice, if you want to download some app and you have not updated your iPhone, it will tell you that upgrade your iOS to version 18 point something, version 26 point something before you can have an access to this app. So which means operating system is just like a school manager that tell you that before you get to SS3, you must pass through SS2, or you need a certain grade for you to join SS3. So that is just part of the functions of operating system. Then the third one, controls devices. An operating system helps to control devices like keyboard, like mouse. It is the work of an operating system to control all this hardware, because it helps to connect users with the computer hardwares. So the third function is manage resources, allows you to run apps, control devices. So an example of this is when you open WhatsApp on your phone now, operating system give it memory, operating system connects it to internet, operating system also controls notification. So the first one is operating system gives it memory, that is, it helps to manage the resources. Then operating system connects it to internet, means it allows you to run the application. Number the third one, operating system controls the notification. So here it controls notification. That is the work of the operating system. So that is for the functions of operating system. Let's continue. Let's look at the types of operating system. We have the types of operating system also. We've talked about the function. So here we are talking about the type of operating system. First one is bash operating system. We have the bash operating system, we have the time sharing operating system, and we have the real-time operating system. There are differences between them. So for the bash operating system now, it has no interaction during processing. It has no interaction during processing. What does this mean? It means there is no interaction. It does not have any interaction during the processing. So when you send a work or you are processing a data, there is no interaction during the processing until the result is out. Even though you send any work again, maybe you want to print, for an example, you want to print a course material, you sent it already, then you now want to print like 2 paper, and you want those 2 paper to come out before the course material. It is not possible. The course material must finish printing first before the other 2 paper that you want to send will come outside, that you sent will come outside. To tell you that there is no interaction during processing. So an example of this is WAEC processing results. Student doesn't interact until results are released. This is just an example to explain the bash or operating system. Once they are done writing WAEC, they used to process the results, to mark the results, and send the results to the portal so that students can check. Student does not interact. There's no way you can see your results if they did not drop it. So which means it is an example of bash operating system, because student does not interact until the results are released. So according to the example I gave to that, it is until when the course material is done printing, that is when the 2 papers that you sent will come outside. So there is no interaction during this bash operating system. Then the second one is the time sharing operating system. This time sharing operating system, it handles many users. Many users use the system at the same time. This is a kind of an operating system that many users can use at the same time. This one now, it has interaction. It has interaction. So an example is student using computer in a school ICT lab simultaneously. Student using computer in a school ICT lab simultaneously. So this is an example to explain this time sharing OS operating system, that students using computer in a school ICT lab simultaneously. Let's use our exam as an example. During the exam period now, especially GST these days. GSTs they are very much. GST is the compulsory course for all departments. So the students are always much, and you will have to queue. It's people that like is going to be first come first serve. So the first people that enter the hall, they are going to sit down to write their own exam, while others are waiting. So once you are standing up from your seat, they'll be assigning somebody to sit down there, and you are still going to use that same system. If that same person is done, another person will sit down again. So which means 5 people can sit down to use that computer to do the exam. That's an example of time sharing operating system, and it's going to show results for every of the 5 students simultaneously. So many users use this system at the same time. That's for the time sharing operating system. While the third one is real-time operating. For the real-time operating system, this one is immediate response required. So an example of this is ATM machines in Nigerian bank and air traffic control system. This one gives an immediate response. If you are using an ATM machine, immediately you press the amount you want to withdraw, it will give you a sound and it will count your money for you and push it out. So it gives an immediate response. Real-time operating system gives an immediate response required. For air traffic control system, once it's 2 minutes, I think it's 2 minutes interval or so, it will show red. After 60 seconds, it will show yellow and show green so that you can move. So this is an immediate response. This is an immediate response operating system. So we've talked about the bash, the time, and the real time. So let's look at the other important concepts under this operating system. We have some other important concepts like multi-programming. What does multi-programming means? The word multi means multiple of something. So multi-programming means many programs in memory at once. Example, you are opening Chrome, you open Word, you open music player together. On your computer, you open Chrome. At the same time you want to type, you open Microsoft Word. At the same time you are playing music. So that means you are multi-programming. That's the meaning of the word multi-programming. So many programs in memory at once. Let's go to the next important. Okay, another important concept is multiprocessing. I have multiprocessing. System with more than one CPU. This multiprocessing is when you have computers and you have more than one CPU. Example, high-end servers used by bank like GT Bank or Access Bank. So when you have an high-end servers that are used by banks like GT Banks or Access Bank, here their CPU is always more than one, because they are controlling a lot of customers' informations, and they have to have an high-end server. So they are multi-processing. Their system is having more than one CPU so that it can be faster and so that it can be secure. Then the third one is networking system. The word networking, connect computers that are connected together. Computers that are connected together. An example is university computer labs connected with the Wi-Fi. The university computer labs that are connected to a Wi-Fi, you have like 50 computers, and the computers are connected to just one Wi-Fi. So they are networking the system. They are connecting computers together. Then distributed system. That one too is another important concept under the operating system. So yeah, multiple computers working like one. That's for the distributed system. Multiple computers working like one. An example is cloud service. This is where cloud computing comes in. Multiple computers working like one. So for this example says cloud service used by companies like Flutterwave. I don't know if you've heard of Flutterwave. Flutterwave is like a bank, like a transactional app. So cloud service used by companies like Flutterwave, they use distributed system because they have multiple computers that are working like one. I have my own computer, you have your own computer, they have their own computer. So we have like 10 computers here that are working like one because we are distributing the same thing. You are distributing the same content, you are distributing the same information at once. So distributed system. So multiple computers working like one. So I've talked about the multi-programming, many programs in memory at once. Multiprocessing, system with more than one CPU. Networking, computers connected together. While for the distributed system, multiple computers working like one. So let's look at the component of operating system. What are the components of this operating system? The first one is process management. Process management. It manages program running. This process management helps to manage the programs that are running. The programs that are working, that are currently working, that you are loading, that you are working on. This process management helps to manage them. An example is switching between WhatsApp and Instagram. You are watching reels you are watching WhatsApp status. You are going through your WhatsApp status rather. Then a reels just pop up from your notification from Instagram, and you click on it and it takes you to Instagram. This is process management. Process management. You will know that if you come back to the WhatsApp, you will still come back to the place you left it. It's not as if it's going to change. It's not as if it's going to reply messages you have not responded to. The video you were watching on WhatsApp or the person chat you were on WhatsApp before you go to Instagram, that is where you will still come back to. So that is process management. So that is process management. Then the second one is memory management. So memory management helps to control RAM usage. This one helps to control the RAM usage. RAM is random access memory, and it is a temporary memory for a computer that saves temporary work, that saves the temporary running app. An example is closing app to free space on your phone. An example of this memory management is when you close app to free space on your phone. You know, if you are using for your phone now, so I was talking about memory management. You know, on our phones, if you should go to the minimize button now, you will see the apps that you've actually gone through, that you've opened today. You will see the apps that you will see all the apps that you have opened today, and that is for the RAM. So you need to close all this app to free space on your phone. You need to close all these apps to free the space on your phone. So that is for the memory management. It helps to control the RAM usage. So all of these are the components of operating system. Then the third one is storage management. This helps to manage files on the disk. Example is saving your assignments, saving your assignments to your laptop now, it helps to manage the files on the disk. It helps to tell you where to save all these assignments. It creates categories for your saving. Maybe you want to save your assignment under document, you want to save it under download, you want to save it under pictures. So the storage management helps to manage files on the disk. That is part of the component of operating system. Then the fourth one is input stroke output system. The I stands for input, the O stands for output. So input stroke output system, or input and output system. So the operating system helps to handle input and output devices. I said this system software helps to connect users. It helps to connect users with computer hardware. It helps to connect them with computer hardware. So it helps to handle the input and output devices. Input are computer hardware. Output are also computer hardware. So this operating system helps to handle them together. An example is keyboard. Keyboard is an input device. Screen or monitor is an output device. So operating system helps to handle them. Then the fifth one is file management. And for the file management, the operating system helps to organize files. Example, you are creating a folder like for GST101, you are creating a folder for Mac 111, you are creating a folder for your GST105. So an operating system also helps in file management. You'll be able to organize your files so that they will not mix together. You are saving slides that are supposed to be under GST101 under GST101. You are saving files that are supposed to be under another course material under it. So it helps to give you that opportunity, that space, and with that tools for you to create folders so that your files can be well organized. So these are the components of operating system, from the process management to the memory management to storage management to input and output system to file management. So all of these are components of operating system. So let's continue. Another one is protection system. The protection system. This prevents unauthorized access. That is part of the component of operating system. It gives a protection system. Example, phone password or fingerprint. It is the operating system that allows you to give it to add phone password or fingerprint to your phone, so that an authorized person will not have an access to your phone. So that is part of the component of operating system, prevention or protection system rather. Then number 7, networking. Computer system now, they all have the ability to network. So it allows communication between systems. Operating system allows communication between systems. Example, you are sharing files via Bluetooth or via Wi-Fi, or you are using sender, or you are using flash share, or you are using your nearby, or you are sending it through WhatsApp. So networking is part of the component of operating system. Operating system allows communication between systems. You are able to share your files. Then number 8, command interpreter called share. If you are familiar with MySQL, you will know the meaning of this shell. So it's a command interpreter. It helps to accept user command. This command interpreter helps to accept user command. An example is typing command in CMD or terminal. You want to type a command, maybe you insert a database in your, insert it in, I think it works for Python also. Okay, if you are using all this virtual, if you have virtual basic code on your system now and you want to write a Python code, if you check under you see this shell there, you see this command interpreter there, you see terminal, you see shell. So they accept user command. You type in a command into that virtual basic code now, they'll be able to accept this command interpreter will be able to accept your command, and it will respond to it and give you the output of what you want, of what you type. So that is the work of an operating system too. They work as a command interpreter, they work as a networking, they work as a protection system. They are part of the component of operating system. So let's continue. Let's go to the summary of this course, to the summary of what we've discussed about. So starting from the software, I said software is they are programs that run a computer. So software are programs that help to run a computer. Then I said we have two types of software. I said we have two types of software. We have the system software and we have the application software. And I said under the system software we have other three software, but we actually focused on one, which is the operating system. We have the operating system, we have the language translator, we have the utility software. Then I said for the system software now, they control the computer and help it to run properly. So they have to control the computer and they help it run properly. While for the application software, these are programs that we use for our daily tasks. Example is Microsoft Word, Chrome, your browser, your music player app. So operating system is the most important system software. Operating system is the most important system software because it is a program that connects the user with the user to the computer hardware. And operating system helps to manage hardware and allow programs to run. So we talked about the type of operating system. I said we have the bash, the time sharing, and the real time. For the bash, they have no interaction during processing. Everything goes well, no interaction. This is an example of WAEC results. If you are processing WAEC results, you cannot see your result until they drop it. So which means no interaction during the processing. And the second one is time sharing. Talked about the time sharing. So I said for the time sharing, many users they use the system at the same time. It's just like you using like 10 students using a particular computer. And this is an example of the exam or during the exam days for GSTs. Not only GSTs but mostly GSTs. Students are always much. So yeah, you can use like 10 students can use one computer. That is for time sharing operating system. Then the third one is real-time operating system. So this one is immediate response required. You get your response immediately. Example is like ATM machine. You want to withdraw an ATM machine. It will not tell you to come back after 2 hours. Instead, it will pop out it's going to count your money for you and you remove it and go. So operating system components. What are the components of operating system? So the first one, process management. Second one, management memory. Third one, storage management. Fourth one, input and output system. We have the file management. We have the protection system, networking, and command interpreter. In short, command interpreter. So that is all for this unit, for this computer software 1. So it is the next computer software 2 that we are going to be talking about, the other system software. So let's I believe we all understand, and if there's a question, yeah, you're free to ask any question about this particular unit if you do not understand anything. So from where we are going to the practice questions to ask ourselves so that we can know better and exchange our ideas. So let's go to the practice questions that I have here. So the first one here says define computer software and give 2 examples. You have to define a software and give 2 examples. Software, yeah, everything that you cannot touch on a computer is a software. So you can just give us a simple, understandable definition of this software with just 2 examples. Is there anybody that can help us with this question? So that means there's nobody that understands the computer software.
You said the computer.
Yeah. Computer software, yes. So do you want to help us out? Who is talking? Can you hear me? Can we all hear me? What's wrong with the network now? Yeah. You can't do this. Don't disconnect it. Anyway, you will give hypertension. Go. Punish you. It's crazy. Sorry everyone. The network. I have to change my network now. Yeah. So I was talking about this question one. Please who can help us out? Someone was talking the other time. And because of my network I could not hear what the person was saying. The first question that says define computer software and give 2 examples. About this computer software, I explained better and I said is instructions. It's a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. I hope everyone can hear me. Alice, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let's go to the objective questions that we have here. So the first one, the part of the computer system that consists of programs is called dash. What is the part of the computer system that consists of programs? What's the answer to the question one? I believe you can still hear me. Maybe there's a network issue again. Ma? Okay, the answer is B, yes, software. We are talking about computer software in this unit. So, the part of a computer system that consists of programs. I said programs is a set of instructions that enables the computer to solve a problem. So, any set of instruction, any set of step to step, or anything that you cannot touch that is inside the computer is called software. So the second question, which of the following acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware? Each of the following acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware. You can help us with that. Their objective. Okay, C. Thank you. C. So an operating system helps to connect the users and the computer hardware. The third question: which type of operating system allows many users to access the system at the same time? Let's look at the questions very well. There's a type of operating system that allows many users to access the system at a time. I explained about the batch processing and I explained about the read time also. So we should know the answer following the explanation. The answer is not A. Instead, the answer is B. The answer is B, which is the time sharing system. That's the answer, B. Number 4. The program that translates high-level language into machine language is called what? The program that translates. Although we didn't talk about this, but there's a program that translates high-level language into a machine language. Machine language. Let me just skip this. Let me know because we didn't talk about it. But it's called a compiler. So a compiler is a program that translates high-level language into machine language. It's called a compiler. So I'm still going to explain that later on in our class. So which of the following is not a function of an operating system? Let's look at these 4 options. There's one that is not a function of an operating system. C. Cooking food. So cooking food is not an option. It's not part of the function of an operating system. So let's go to the fill in the gap section. So the first one, a dash is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. What a dash is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. Soft what? Please, are you the one talking? What's the answer to this? A dash is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. Yeah, a program is a set of instructions that tells computer what to do as a program. Then number 2, the dash system controls and manage computer hardware and software resources. There's a kind of an operating system that I've already said the answer. The dash system that controls and manage computer hardware and software resources is what? What's the answer? Yeah, operating system is the one that helps to control and manage computer hardware. So a dash operating system requires immediate response to input. This is what type of operating system helps to requires immediate response? Yeah, real-time operating system. Thank you. And number 4, the management of computer memory is known as dash. It's known as dash management. You were even the one that said it to Alice. You were the one that said it that time. Yeah, memory management. So that's the management of a computer memory. So number 5, the component of the operating system that organize files is called dash management. This one, organize files, file management. Thank you. So that is for this unit. Please, let's try as much as possible to, while we are doing this class, let's have a notebook that you are taking, that you are noting some things down, so that when question time comes, you'll be able to answer questions, and even you try to draft out question that you can ask, so as to make you to learn more. At least be curious of some certain things. There are some things that you should be like, "Oh, how did they even get this thing? Let me ask." Sure, you get anybody that, like, according to the Bible, it says, ask and it shall be given unto you. So you asking does not make you less, instead it makes you to learn more. And we are all here to learn. So let's try as much as possible to have a notebook beside us, that we are taking some things down. From there, you'll be able to get a question to ask. You'll be able to understand what we are saying better. So please, let's take note of that. So that will be the end of the class tonight. I thank you all for joining tonight's class. I hope you've learned one or two. So if you have any other question to ask regarding anything, please don't forget, our matric is coming up. You guys should be buying your ingredient down. Hey Joe, buy your food stuff down. I'll bring it to school on Wednesday. I don't understand. You don't want to cook. We are doing naming ceremony, so there will be children will be giving us. They're going to distribute child to everybody that day. So let's bring food, please. There are people that need help in the school, help of food and drinks. Don't bring akara. Oh. Thank you. Ah, no. Thank you. Keep it keep it to yourself. Don't come and blind us. Then on the 7th, that is when they are going to share the matriculation gown. So make sure you come early, because the queue that day is going to be much. So let's take note of all of that. And if you are coming, come with your oath form and your ID card. Thank you. Oath form, and your ID card. Yes, ma. So please, let's have a lovely night rest. Good night, everyone. Bye.